This is the 31st Lap Podcast, recorded live in the studios of FingerLakes1.com in downtown Seneca Falls, New York. And now, your hosts, Rich Post, John Bonas, Mike Mallett, and Chris Marquardt.
Good evening and welcome to the 31st Lap. I am Chris Marquardt. Joining me in studio is everybody. Mike Mallett, Rich Post, John Balmas, all joining us right here, trackside, if you will, from the lavish FingerLakes1.com studios in downtown Seneca Falls. Mike's already given me a funky look for that. I didn't put a script together, so we're kind of flying on our own tonight. We've got Matt Sheppard is going to be joining us on the show a little bit later on. We're going to have Corky Stockham from National Parts Peddler on the program. We'll give you a full recap of the World Finals down there in Charlotte and a whole host of other racing-related action. Mike, welcome back.
Yeah, great to be back.
We had a great time last week.
You know, you're making it sound like we got Freeform Thursday again.
No, not quite. No, not
last week was fun.
It was a ball last week.
You guys missed out on a good time last week.
Blah blah blah.
Yeah, it was fun. That's what we did. Blah 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 for about 2 hours.
We did a lot.
Two full hours, huh?
Yeah, we had fun.
We did.
Yeah, they started the show, said they were going to go like an hour. And
next thing you know, it's 2 hours in, and it was fun though because we had people on the live chat asking questions, and we were asking questions to each other, and yada yada yada, and there we were. Good show.
Asking for our take on things, asking for our opinions on stuff. It was cool. It really was a lot of fun. It was something that we've been wanting to do. We were able to do it, and now that you know it worked, we're going to do it again. We also came up something that we want to talk about a little bit right off the top is try and pin down some dates and some ideas here as we look forward to doing that March of Dimes benefit. I think we narrowed down as we were talking back and forth. We want to probably shoot for February.
Yeah, sometime
to do that.
Yep.
Right now the plan is to do that Canandaigua carts. It gives us plenty of time to put together the planning. So if any of the fans out there want to weigh in, give us some thoughts on it. If any drivers are interested,
do that?
I love it. I'm going to suck, but I don't care.
If you suck enough, you'll be able to announce the feature.
I'll be able to announce the feature because we're running it live. Oh, you think we've used a lot of bandwidth usage the day we did the live shows at Syracuse? Which we
just wait
till we produce a day of go-kart racing.
Oh, no. Yeah, I don't know how much of that. I don't know if we're going to go live with all of it. But
how
we're going to do it. We don't know yet.
I think we should just go live. Yes. It's crackling in my head the whole time I'm talking.
I am.
Yep, and it's louder than holy.
Yeah, it is loud.
Yeah, all these are pegged.
I was about to say something.
Somebody else? You know what? Even though you turned it down, it's still cracking. Wait. Nope, crack. Yeah, it still did. Mine did.
Yeah, mine is.
Yeah, it's like static.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Oh well, we'll roll with it.
What choice do we have?
Yeah, we got Matt Sheppard. Congratulations to Matt Sheppard. You know, Mike was watching the World Finals on DVR. I was watching them as they happened on.
Yeah, I missed half the sprint car
channel.
feature.
You missed some of it, but yeah. I hope I was able to offer you some sort of.
Well, you know what's
updates. Funny
is you were telling me what was going on, and then John Tiff looks at me because he was out with me on Saturday. We went out and saw a band, and he looks at me and goes, "By the way, Brett Hearn wins." How about Balmas? I see Balmas. We went out Sunday for dinner for Dino's birthday.
Yeah, the jerk.
And he hadn't watched it yet.
I hadn't watched because I worked Saturday night.
And
then Sunday I slept for like 3 hours and then went out and watched football all day Sunday afternoon. Met him and Dino and the missus was there. And
yeah, he's like, don't tell me what happened to Charlotte.
Dino ruined the whole goddamn thing.
Don't tell me what happened to Charlotte. I'm like, oh, you didn't know Brett Hearn won?
The only thing I didn't know was who won the late model.
Yeah, Jimmy Owens. I was going to tell you, but I'm like, who cares?
You know,
Jimmy Owens.
I didn't know that until right now.
That.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I didn't know it till right now. I went to bed right after that.
Did you?
Right before the late model started.
I got home. It was late, and then I started watching it, and then I realized, crap, I didn't set the DVR long enough, and then I got like probably three-quarters of the sprint car race.
I set mine for 2 hours extra, and I only had an hour left, so I knew it ran over.
Yeah, I should have. I always forget to do that. I don't know.
I always do.
You know, I'm just.
I don't have a DVR. The couch caught me, and
that has been known to happen too.
Good night.
That's happened. That's happened to me too. You know, but the thing was, is I already knew who won everything because if you have Twitter or anything like that, it's behind.
Yep.
So you're getting the updates, and it's like, Hearn won, and then he's texting me, it's modified features on the track. Peter Britton's leading. Like, okay. Like I just got the sprint car feature results. So that That's the only thing that sucks about that. I like that they put it on
got
television.
You gotta
hide your. No. I'm saying you have to hide yourself from all.
Yeah, you gotta completely unplug. If you
unplug from life. Like you gotta shut off Facebook, shut off your Twitter.
Yes,
don't look at anything. Don't go out with your friends for somebody's birthday.
That's why you leave your phone in your car.
How can I leave the phone in the car when I'm watching it on my couch?
Or you just plug it in wherever the hell you plug it in.
Yeah, well,
and stay away from it.
I can't help it. I'm addicted to Twitter. I sit and I read Twitter all day long as it is. So, I'm a big fan.
When I'm on the couch, the phone's in another room. I don't want.
No surprise when I call you or text you. You don't freaking get back.
I don't want to be near it. I go racing. It's in the car.
What do you think of the 45-minute delay? I think we've talked about that on before. I'm grateful that it's on TV. I just wish it was live.
Yeah, I don't
like that.
I don't like that 45-minute.
Yeah, I don't understand why they do it. Like,
what purpose does that serve?
I don't know. Like when they do Knoxville live. As far as I know, that's live as it happens. And then when they do
our show's live as it happens.
Yeah, that's definitely. Yep.
We have good, bad, or ugly. It's live when it happens.
Yeah, I know. It's but I just don't get why it's.
We have one up on the World Finals from Charlotte.
Yeah, we are not 45. We are not tape delayed. So no, but
maybe we should be.
I mean, it's live, but can you really call it live because it's happening 45 minutes after or whatever the delay is?
It's not. When I can tell you who's won
and
the feature that hasn't started on TV yet.
Yeah.
You can't call it live. And I mean, like you said, I applaud the effort to get it on TV. I think
it's good for racing. It is good for racing.
But if you look at the heyday. We had the rush hour on Dirt.
Yeah, we had all of our own.
We had a lot of stuff live, and as soon as they went away from that,
I think they do it because sometimes with a dirt track, it'd be so unpredictable. If they got to do track prep, you can eliminate that.
Yeah, but there's so much
on the television.
but
nobody. I think that's why they build that.
But I don't think anybody that's watching an event like that,
doesn't expect
gives a crap about.
Yes, we don't go to it enough to expect it. But there's people out there.
Think about the time
who don't know a lot about it, just catch it on TV, and then all of a sudden they get bored because.
Well, think about what they could do though. They could bring on the champions or what. You got Dave Despain doing live interviews.
He does interviews.
So there you go. There's your downtime.
Well, you've got that, and you can run back some of the heat race footage. I mean,
there's a lot.
If you're really hurting for it, if you get a rain delay,
and you had Thursday and Friday night or Friday night racing that you can go back to Friday night and highlight everything, and there's a half an hour worth of stuff if you really need that
racing time. You saw anyway of that night. What they could show us in the downtime is more of what we didn't see the night before.
Right, that's what I would prefer.
I heard about all day Saturday. I heard about how great Friday night sprint car race was, and I saw the highlights on Speed Center. And they showed like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
What I saw did not look like a great race.
Right.
I want to see what everybody's talking about.
Yeah.
Because everybody said that sprint race on Friday night was fantastic. The highlights I saw just looked like any normal race. So I would have liked to have seen them show more of that on Saturday during the downtime.
Yeah, I agree with you. I just wish, again, that it was live. And then if you need the kill time, put something like that in. Put a montage together from Friday night. Where you can do it,
Show us season highlights, how they got to this point. Whatever.
I mean, there's so many announcers there, so many people there that could do it.
Yeah.
I mean, they have 500 different pit reporters. You got 3 guys in this tower. I mean, there's so many things that they could do.
That, and you would think that if you're gonna go into production for a live show like that at a racing event, you would have something built into your repertoire to put in for a rain delay.
Just like any NASCAR event, they got built-in stuff in case there is a delay.
You've got a plan for it. So, and these guys at Speed have been doing this for a long time.
NASCAR usually has their canned interview with Dale Earnhart Jr. about how he's about to turn the season around on the ready every time the rain.
Entertaining stuff.
Yeah, he's a real ball of freaking joy to listen to.
Yeah. Yeah,
if
when you've done that,
if you ever gotten a stock car,
I think he's just at a point where he just doesn't give a crap to deal with it and pretend he's enthusiastic about it.
I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but when I hear him talk, I'd rather listen to paint dry. I think.
Yeah.
How do you hear paint dry?
You can't.
I was wondering how that works.
And I would rather listen to it.
Nope, but he'd sit there and spend hours trying to figure it out.
That's right.
Hey, do we want to look at the results? Can you give me my my little winners thing? So we'll do that before we.
Yeah. We got time because you said first interview's what?
7:30.
Do it up.
There we go. All right.
I got a little bit too.
So here we go. Looking at the World Finals, since that's what we're talking about. That's what we've been discussing here. Friday night, World of Outlaws Sprint Car A Main went to Sammy Swindell. It didn't work out so well for him on Saturday night.
No, it did not.
The modified event was won by Tim Fuller. The late models was won by the O Show. or the Newport Nightmare, depending on which one you prefer.
Get out the broom.
That'd be Jimmy Owens. Then on Saturday, Dale Blaney, the lowrider. Dale Blaney picked up the victory. Brett Hearn came so close to picking up the championship. He closed in, got within 60 points of Matt Sheppard. Yep. He got the win, but it was Matt Sheppard, your 2012 Mr. Dirt Car champion, his third consecutive Dirt Car Series title, and he'll be on the show here in just a few moments.
Yeah, imagine that. That's something that Brett, Jack
nobody's
Johnson,
ever done.
Any of those guys that have won multiple Super Dirt Series titles have never won 3 in a row.
Jimmy Owens captured the Saturday night feature, so give him the sweep.
4 years in a row he's won that Saturday night race.
And then when we talk championships, Darrell Lanigan is your World of Outlaw Late Model Series champion.
Rewrote the record book.
Yeah,
and,
that was wrapped up like a month ago.
Yeah, and Donnie Schatz, even though he sucked the entire weekend, he
was
your
and he didn't have a good first half of the year.
No, but he
started out very.
It
slow.
Was like mid-July. You know
slow.
What? It was like mid-July. Then all of a sudden, Donnie Schatz was like, "All right, guys, thanks for coming. I've let you. Craig, Sammy.
Seconds and
he started
second
sniffing.
and third, second
he
and
started
third.
sniffing the month of money and took off.
Yeah. He won Knoxville as always, and Schatz is your 2012 World of Outlaw champion.
He did spend a lot of. It's a good thing he won that title, $250,000 for the title effort, because he spent a lot of Tony Stewart's money that weekend.
Yeah, yes, he did. NASCAR was at Texas. Jimmy Johnson.
They're still running.
Whoa! Won the Cup race, and he's pretty much. Well, he's on track to win another championship.
It's a 2-man race, and it's a very good race right now. But you and I talked about it on the way here.
It's not. It's over.
The experience that his team
has
over.
Let's do as much as we can to jinx Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah, I know.
It's over. It's over.
What they should do is put him. They should put him on the cover of the midseason update for Madden.
Yeah.
I personally wouldn't mind seeing that Dodge win the title.
Right.
I'd be just fine
in their
with
last
that.
season.
Yep. Definitely.
Nationwide was Kevin Harvick, and the Truck Series event went to Johnny Sauter. That was actually a pretty good race.
Yeah, it was.
I watched that. And then NASCAR K&M Pro Series, Rockingham, Tyler Reddick won the race, but the more interesting fact is Kyle Larson actually won the championship thanks to a last lap back straightaway crash.
That race aired today on Speed at 3 o'clock.
I saw the highlights of it the other night,
and it was an amazing finish.
3 o'clock this afternoon.
Yeah, the guy was racing for the championship, wrecked himself basically on the last lap.
Brett Moffitt. Brett Moffitt was leading the race, and he had the win. Kyle had to finish 6th to win the title. If Kyle finishes 7th and Moffitt wins the race, they tie. Moffitt gets the tiebreaker because that would have been his 3rd win compared to Kyle's 2 wins. So he leads the white flag. Moffitt's leading the white flag. He goes into turn 1, and Tyler Reddick, the Lucas Oil late model racer, he's making his very first K&N East start. And he was gaining on Moffitt, and he drove into turn 1 on the top side, got up beside him coming out of 2, enough where he was at his right rear quarter, going down the backstretch. Moffitt decided he was going to pull over to the wall and kind of cut off the nose of Reddick, and Reddick didn't lift. He stayed in it, and that turned Moffitt right into the wall because he tried to cut him off. He took a chance hoping that he would lift, and he didn't. So they ended up crashing, and Reddick went on. The race was over immediately there because they threw the yellow. Reddick's the leader. He goes to the line and wins the race. Kyle, because of the wreck, ended up finishing 6th.
And with smiled on the way by.
With Moffitt, the guy wrecking, and he ended up winning the title.
That when Moffitt wrapped around the front of Reddick's car, it didn't disable Reddick's car enough to where anybody could get past him.
It hurt the nose of the car, but they froze the field because immediately the yellow came out, and he just coasted to the checkered, so he couldn't be passed.
That was his first K&N race?
First start.
Wow.
First start, first win.
K&N. Wow, good for Tyler.
The kid was impressive in that race.
Yeah.
I got to be honest, he's never really impressed me in a dirt late model.
No, I don't.
He really has. I know he's young. He's only 16 years old.
Right, he's not bad.
So he's young.
Bad. Right.
But I've seen other young kids come up that I've seen more promise out of. But I will say he was very impressive in this race.
Yeah, so good for him.
Yeah.
Good for Kyle Larson.
Yep.
And, again, he's racing the truck series practice tonight.
Everything had to fall in place for that race.
If the yellow flag freezes the field, and...
Are you going to go with the argument the yellow flag freezes the field? Then how come
you got to maintain speed?
Moffitt didn't. Oh, you got to maintain speed.
You got to maintain caution speed.
Yeah,
obviously Moffitt.
Yeah, because everyone's seen that in NASCAR where you've seen somebody like run out of gas and they get pushed to the finish. They cross the line, but they're like, "Well, you got pushed."
On the last lap, you cannot get help.
Right.
You have to make it there on your own power.
Yep.
On the final lap, they changed that rule.
So that was that. That's the news there. I'm thinking USAC sprints were in Paris. I'll give you this because I know you want to know. Brian Clausen won on Friday night, and Mike Spencer won on Saturday. That's just for
the
you.
Budweiser Oval Nationals
there
at
you
Paris
go.
Auto Speedway was the USAC Sprint National Tour finale and the USAC CRA Sprint National finale.
Right.
They ran a combo race, Budweiser Oval Nationals at Paris Auto Speedway. As you said, Brian
There you
Clausen
go.
won Friday night, and then Mike Spencer won on Saturday night. He won the USAC CRA title, and Clausen beat Dave Darland for the USAC National Sprint title by 5 points.
Wow. Double D.
That was a pretty dramatic
That's
finish
pretty cool.
to that race,
Right.
too. Clausen had to gain one spot, and he was one spot out on the final lap of that feature on Saturday night.
Slide down.
And he had a tire going down, apparently, like the last 6 or 7 laps. And he managed to make that one pass that got him the title on the last lap.
That's impressive.
Man.
For
Some of
sixth
those
place.
guys are,
And-
that's impressive.
Yeah, it was impressive. Because they said the biggest thing was he had a tire going down the
Right.
last few laps. Somehow it managed to
Brian
have enough air in it, and he made a pass and got him the title.
Clausen. So, well,
That's a kid I'm hoping to maybe this winter get in contact with.
yeah, well, you don't know. I mean, we've
Get him on
got
here.
we've got a lot planned for this winter. I think if we can get everything done that we've want to accomplish, it's going to be a pretty good winter. But we'll have to wait and see. But before we get to winter, of course,
I'd like to give a shout out just before you
I'll go for it.
get too far here.
Shout out.
Australia, we had Alex Bright on
Right.
a few weeks ago, ARDC midget racer. He went to Australia this winter. He told us on the show he's going to Australia. He's out there now, and then just his second start about a week and a half ago, he won one of the midget races out there. So I thought that was pretty
All right.
cool. Little shout out to Alex.
Little PA guy winning out there
Yeah.
in Australia. Good for
Yep.
him. Well, now we are going to have our first guest here of the night. Joining us, a 3-time now Super Dirt Car Series champion, Mr. Dirt, if you will. First driver ever to win 3 consecutive. Mr. Matt Sheppard. Matt, how you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We're doing pretty good.
We're hanging in there.
It kind of sucks there's no racing anymore here. We're running out of time, but you got to be pretty happy. What does it mean to you now? 3 consecutive championships. All the big names in the sport, Jack Johnson, Brett Hearn, all those guys, they never had 3 in a row.
I'll tell you what, it's an amazing feat for me and my team. So much is involved in just trying to win one championship. You have to have so many factors that go your way, and to be able to put all them things together 3 consecutive years in a row, it's something that's really unheard of. I think history kind of speaks for itself.
Take us through the weekend, for you down at Charlotte. I know Friday you didn't have the results you were looking for, and that kind of put a little bit of pressure on you for Saturday night.
Yeah, it really did. We've been pretty good down there since we've been going down there. We've been up front every night, and we just didn't qualify that good for Friday night. And I think we had a pretty good car. It just seems like as racy as that track is, it's to make up a lot of ground and tough to pass very many cars. I rode around there, and I could see the 5th-place car in front of me, and at times I felt like I was gaining, at times I felt like I wasn't, but I just wasn't really going anywhere. And that was our worst series finish of the entire year, which it was kind of something a little unexpected going down there. But we turned it around Saturday night and did what we had to do, and it worked out good for us in the long run.
What is your mindset going into that weekend? You didn't have it wrapped up, but you had a good advantage there. You had a little bit of a comfort zone. What's your mindset going down, and did it change on Saturday when the points kind of closened up?
Well, I've been in both positions. I've been trailing going down there, and I've been ahead going down there, and it makes a big difference. When you're behind, you go down there and you just run as hard as you can, throw caution to the wind, and usually end up with pretty good results. But when you got a little bit of a lead, there's a lot of things in the back of your head. You want to run good, but the most important thing is finishing, and that's what we did. We didn't run quite as hard as we wanted to run. We didn't take quite as many chances as we wanted to. I'd love to go down there just one time and race for a win instead of a race.
Saturday night, it looked like you had a shot to win that race. As the laps were clicking off, it seemed like you were really coming forward, and you were gaining on and Britton and Hearn there in the closing laps.
Yeah, I think we were. We were being cautious, but we had a good car. We started running them guys down. I got up to them, and I'm thinking to myself, I might have a shot at this thing. And if I could have won it, I'd have won it. You know what I mean? I really want to win down there. But, that late race caution really didn't work in our favor. We were good on the long run. Seems like story of our season. We're good on long runs. But, it didn't work out. We didn't get the win, but in the overall battle, we won the championship, and that's what we went down there to do.
Where does this one compare to the other two? Where does it rank? Is it more special because now you're the only one? You got something in racing that nobody else has. You have that 3 consecutive, or is it? How does it feel? Where does it rank compared to the other two?
They're all special. I think it's got to rank right there with the first one. I mean, the first one is obviously really special, and now to do the 3rd consecutive, it's not so much as the 3rd title, it's the 3rd consecutive, and just the fact that nobody's ever done it before with what you say, the rich history of this sport, guys like Jack Johnson and Bob McCready and Brett Hearn, there's thousands and thousands of wins between them guys, but they've never done this. It's really special. The first one was special. Obviously the second one was too, but the 3rd one means a lot.
We got some racing still to come here, next Saturday, or this Saturday, actually. I'm thinking next Saturday. This Saturday, you got a chance to go out to Black Rock. Are you guys going to do that close to home, $6,000 on the line? Is that something you guys are planning on heading to?
We're getting ready to load up tomorrow, and we're planning on heading down there.
How is that going to be it for you guys? Any other plans, any other racing, or is Black Rock going to be the final nail in the 2012 season for you?
I think that's it. We thought we were done with Charlotte, and then we got back this week and seen that race got moved, and had a lot of success there this year. So they say they're going to try and get us out of there to get to our banquets. I hope they do. I have to leave there early to go to the banquet, but we've been there twice this year. We won both times, so it seems silly.
It's kind of hard to skip it.
From home, we got to go down there and give it a shot.
Were you happy to see? I know you were at Hagerstown, and we talked about you a little bit last week and that impressive run at Hagerstown. Let's talk about that, then we'll talk about the date change first. But how much fun was that at Hagerstown? You started up front. Obviously, you don't want to have what happened happen. You got together, another car and went around. You went to the rear, though, and drove back up through. How much fun is that, especially considering it's a daytime service and it's tough to pass?
That's a ton of fun. I'll tell you what, if you're at Hagerstown and your car setup's right, and you can move around like I could, that's about as much fun as you can have in a race car. The only thing that wasn't fun about it is that it was only an 8 or 10 lap heat race instead of a 50 lap race or something. But every once in a while you get hitting on all 8 cylinders and everything's working your way. It just brings a smile to your face ear to ear. You have a run like that, even though it's just a heat race, and you come in and you're grinning. As much as we race week in, week out, year in, year out, that's a lot of fun right there.
Now, we know that originally the date was supposed to be here next weekend after the Dirt Banquet. You got to be pretty happy to know that it's been moved to March. Does that make that race easier on you guys now that you can go back? You have the off season, then you got Florida. Then if you want to go to, I believe it's the same weekend as Selinsgrove. Does that kind of make it easier than going to the Dirt Banquet, doing all that, celebrating, and then getting up in the morning and heading down there?
Yeah, it definitely does. I mean, we got the Canandaigua banquet Friday night, and then we got to get up, leave for Black Rock probably 8 o'clock in the morning, and then run Black Rock, and then head to the Dirt Banquet, and we would have had to leave the Dirt Banquet and head down to Hagerstown probably at like 5 in the morning, so that would have made for a long weekend. Now we can go to Syracuse and kind of celebrate and reflect a little bit on this 3rd championship and what it all means to us.
How much more fun is the party going to be this time? Is it going to be like, do you look at yourself differently now? In the sense that, when you walk into that room, you're that one guy that's done this. Do you look at yourself different?
I still look at myself as a rookie back in 2003, showing up to my first Super Dirt Series car race. Had a lot of good success and experience between now and then, but I don't really look at myself any different. People around me might, but I'm still a racer. I want to go out there and win races, win championships, and work my butt off doing it.
I know I don't have anything else for you, Matt. I do want to give you a chance to say, of course, thank your sponsors, thank your car owner, your crew. I mean, there's a lot of people who put a lot of effort into your 2012 championship. So, as always, our way of appreciating everybody that comes on here, we want to give you a chance to thank all those folks.
Yeah, I got to thank FX Repair Chevrolet. They came on board this year. Great to have them on board. They've been a big compliment to this team. Of course, my car owner, Jeff Bronow, Green Lubricant, Bicknell Race Cars, CC Performance Under the Hood, Integra Race Shocks, Camara Slate, DC Rouser, all the crew guys that helped me out, Anthony and Roy and Danny and Rick and Roder, Daryl, my girlfriend Beth Ann, my parents. Without all these people, this stuff wouldn't be possible.
Well, Matt, again, congratulations on doing something that nobody else has done, being a 3-time Mr. Dirt Car champion. And as always, we appreciate your time. Thanks for coming on the show, and we look forward to talking to you real soon.
All right, thank you.
Congrats, man.
Congratulations.
Right. Thanks.
So Matt Sheppard coming off 3 consecutive.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable when you stop and
it's
think
impressive.
about it.
It's impressive. I mean, just to have.
He hasn't been around that long, and to win 3 in a row is something that nobody else, like you said, Brett Hearn, Bob McCready, Jack Johnson, Danny Johnson.
That's
none of those guys have ever done this.
That's what's so impressive is to see the names that have come through in the past
and weren't able to do it
4 or 5 decades. Right. They just haven't been able to do that, despite how dominant some of them were.
You know what kind of debate this could open up? You could compare eras, and you could rank where this one is compared to those, if you really wanted to. I mean, I'm not. I don't think that's something for tonight, but for another.
Well, I mean, we got all the time that we want
for another show.
Brett Hearns,
I know. For
Brett
another
Hearns
show,
won 7 Mr. Dirt titles. Jack has won 6 Mr. Dirt titles, and none of them.
Matt's
got
won
3 in a row,
and 3 in a row. Yeah, so I mean,
when you stop and think about that, it's
pretty good. 30.
Yeah. Right. That's the impressive thing is he's a kid.
Yes, he's very young. He has not been around that long.
Also, something else. Matt lost by 4 points in 2009 to Brett Hearn.
So 4 points.
4 points.
So he could have been a 4
points from being a 4-peat.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah,
but if you want to look at it that way, he, for all intents and purposes, shouldn't have won last year. Nobody ever predicted that Billy Decker
last year we were sitting here
Billy
talking
Decker
about
was going to have the weekend he had in Charlotte last year.
We gave Billy Decker the same kiss of death that we hope we gave Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah, we're like, Decker's got his son up. It's not going to happen. It's over.
I mean, when he went there and had the weekend that he had, nobody predicted that.
Right, and that.
So I mean, it works both ways.
Well, that's something that we probably. Maybe we should have jumped in and asked him which title was the most special, or where does this one rank? Which one was the hardest to win?
Yeah,
I mean, obviously that second one was the toughest because he had to do everything.
He had to bust his
and have all the brakes fall his way.
That's why he brought up that he's won them both ways now.
Yeah.
He's had to come from behind, and he's been the guy leading.
Yeah, and that's
because Brett Hearn was the same almost the same position that Matt was in last year.
Yeah, well, Hearn was even more because he had to jump Jimmy Phelps to get there. That made it that much more difficult.
Yeah.
And that much more difficult. And I keep jumping back to, I believe it was the Mohawk race when they went for show-up points only.
Right.
And would that, that break.
Well, you don't know how that race would have played out.
That's what I'm saying is you don't know how.
But the interesting, the way that played out is Hearn broke at that race. I mean, that could have been.
Right.
Hearn
broke,
but
Sheppard wasn't there.
Right.
Again, that's the thing.
But I think, but we both know
that
if that's a series race, Matt Sheppard's there. He's not.
Oh no, absolutely,
absolutely.
Right.
But
exactly.
I look back to that race that when they made that decision to look at how different could this be? He could have gone down there.
Well, how different could have been if Hearn had been able to race those 2 races and not the race?
That's what I was wondering about.
Right. That's the other thing that would have changed.
That's more significant to me that if Brett runs Maryville and Michigan,
right? What does that change? But again, Brett could have had terrible luck and.
Right. He could have finished last in both of them, but it wouldn't have been likely.
Brett Hearn very reasonably could have had a rolling wheels type outing, when 4 or 5 years ago, where he would lead up through lap 82 and then have a flat tire.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. Problem.
Yeah. You just never
know.
But
in Michigan, he would only have to worry about getting 13th place points.
Right. That one wouldn't have been so bad. But
my 18th place.
Yeah.
That's actually, you bring up a good point. That if Brett is in Michigan, his worst possible finish would have been 18th or 19th or whatever.
But I think the points end up breaking,
which would have been more than obviously the 25. If he finishes last.
Right. But still, that's racing. I mean, you got to, as we all say, it's not over till it's over.
No,
and you got to make all the races.
And that was pretty much my point was with that thing with Brett and with the the show-up points, and
right?
The amount of different things that play.
Oh yeah, we can speculate all we want, but
where
again,
you could say,
long story short, with
Matt Sheppard's
those,
still the champ?
Any of those
right,
situations,
exactly.
those races have run. That history is written.
Yep,
Matt
right,
it's all done.
That's right.
Yeah, and that's the neat part about it. I mean, we can sit here and say this scenario, that scenario, this scenario, but hey, ultimately
those scenarios didn't play out.
Yeah, nothing played out, and this is the way it is. And
Right,
Matt won, and it's awesome to see. You know, considering all the years that we've been in racing and all the racing that people have seen, we've saw something that nobody that has followed DIRTcar Super Dirt Series racing ever saw. A three consecutive champion.
Racing is full of ifs.
Yeah, it's awesome.
No, yeah, and that was my point. Is it's so difficult to win a championship once,
let alone
with all those examples of what could have happened, what may have, and what is going on.
Right.
You know,
with what Matt's been able to do so far, does he position himself now with what he's done with the sportsman division, what he's done with the cars leading up to where he is right now? Does he position himself to be in the conversation as one of the best ever?
He is in position.
He put himself in position.
He is in position to be in that conversation.
Because he's only 30.
Right.
He's still got Brett Hearn's 54. He's still got 24 years of racing.
Right. Now
he
could race for another couple of years, and who knows what opportunities may come his way. You don't know where he could end up.
You know what?
5 years from now, where he could be. You don't know.
But if you cut
right
it right now,
he is.
If you stop, even if you say his career's done, he's going to go do something else next year, I still think you got to put him in the conversation.
Still one of the best.
You have to look at, if you look
obviously
at,
not for career wins.
But you look at those guys' career wins. Okay,
what he's accomplished,
right? But you look at
drivers.
Yeah, I mean, you look at what he's done in his career.
Short period.
We'll
of
say
time.
2003 to 2012. 9 years of
big
block
span.
racing.
Right.
I mean, he's
10 seasons. It would have been
right. He's got to have close to how many wins? I mean,
oh my God.
I mean,
the thing is he's done 3 times now, and he did it 3 in a row. Something that hundreds, if not thousands, of drivers that have tried have never done.
Right.
So
and he's dominated. I mean, he's won track championships at every track he's been. I mean, he won a Brewerton track championship. He's won
Fulton.
Did he win the Fulton?
I think
he can't
won
remember
Fulton,
if he did or didn't.
I think he won.
I think he did win a Fulton championship.
He's got Canandaigua in there. I mean,
sure.
I think he's got one at
Pretty
Utica
sure.
too. Doesn't
I
he?
thought he has a Utica Road small block
Utica.
championship. Yes, he does. So I mean, he's done enough in his career that I would say you'd put him into that.
I would put him
right. You'd put him into that category. I mean, he's won Super Dirt Week. I mean,
in both divisions,
right?
All
all
three divisions.
I misspoke. All 3 divisions.
Yeah.
Only
So
drivers do that.
Did he won? Did he win the Mr. Dirt in small blocks one year? He did.
I don't. I don't remember.
That I
think
don't recall. I don't know if he has a small block.
All these things that were coming up with, we probably should have asked him when we were on the phone with him.
It's something Matt
Matt,
Sheppard
we're gonna
might
have
know.
a debate about your credentials. Can you
call us back, please?
Yeah.
No,
he won the Mr. Dirt Sportsman.
I guess that's one of the appeals of our show.
Well, you know what? We start talking, and then you never know where the conversation is going to go. But
no, that is for sure.
Yeah. But I would say I would put him in that category as
I would put him in the top 20
all time,
best all time drivers.
Yeah, because
just because of the dominance fact. I would at this point in his career,
put him in the Dirty Dozen.
Oh, yeah, and then we throw you to the wayside. We throw you to the wayside like it doesn't matter.
No, but I think you have to. I mean, it's like baseball. Do you guys get in the Hall of Fame? Do you look at dominance over an extended period, or do you look at dominance when they're in the sport? Because there's some guys that didn't play baseball a whole lot of years, maybe 10, 15 years, but
they were so
dominant in those 10 or 15 years. They're in the Hall of Fame.
And that's what I'm looking at. I mean,
Matt Sheppard has been so dominant since he has come onto the scene in big block racing and small blocks, big blocks.
Right from the get-go.
Right from the get-go. So how can you... I mean, he has been one of the top in the sport for an extended period. It's not like it's a 1 or 2 year fluke kind of thing. I mean, he's done it since he's been here, and he's been getting better and better and better and better as he goes, and he's winning more and more and more and more races.
Yeah, he's here to stay. Folks.
I mean, if we're going to look at all, let's see, it's got to be in here how many wins he's got. There's a winners list in here. Taking a look at this year's winners list, okay? Stuart Friesen's got the most at 25 dirt modified wins, okay? 27 overall wins because he had 2 indoors.
This is not dirt sanctioned; it's dirt surface.
No, just
dirt modified, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Danny Johnson has 24. Matt Sheppard is 3rd at 21. Hearn is 4th at 19, and Chris Raby is 5th at 17. So, I mean, top 3 in wins, and I don't think he has run as many races as Stuart Friesen has run, and he's only 4 behind.
Right.
I mean, Stuart runs 3 nights a week,
everywhere.
3 nights a week, everywhere. Whereas Matt was running Friday, Saturday, and ran some Sundays.
Right. And I guess for me, Chris, I'd say yes, it's the top 20 best all time at this point in his career. you add a few more years on top of what he's already done, I think you're talking probably top 10 best drivers without even having
because the thing
a tough conversation.
To be compared into that with those guys, the thing he needs to work on now is padding those career totals in longevity.
Because what I'm looking at right now is he's beating Danny Johnson. He's beating Alan Johnson. I mean, he's beating the Super DIRTcar field
Tompkins,
every Saturday. I mean, he's beating them every Saturday, but he's still beating legendary drivers that are still running. I mean, he's beating those guys that are going to be in that conversation with him for the best.
And for someone
time.
that wants to bring up the age factor, the difference between Matt and say Brett Hearn and Danny Johnson, those two are at the top of their game right now. Brett and Danny.
Still.
Yeah,
they are still at the top. Look at how
racing,
Brett ended the season.
You know what? Racing
I don't want to hear about the
racing
age gap.
is one of the few sports though where age doesn't diminish talent.
No, I don't want to hear about the age gap.
I mean, when you get up into your 60s
No.
and 70s, that could be an issue.
Think
but
the only thing that we should be talking about as far as age is the duration of career.
Yeah,
and that's the only age factor you can
the career
put
totals for him to get to somebody like a Brett Hearn to reach that milestone as far as career totals. He's going to have to race for 40 years.
Well, he's got 25 more years, and I'd like to know how many career wins he has now, because I would expect that he will get upwards of where he might not get to 800, because that's
how many
a
did
lot.
you say he had? 21?
This year he's got 21. So you figure
800 is a lot of
figure
wins.
if he's got 25 years left,
and he wins 25 a year.
Let's put him at 55.
Let's figure he's averaged, let's just say 10 a year for 10 years.
That's 100 right there. He's got to have, so you figure that, and then if you go,
and I would say
if you
that's
go
probably
25,
low.
you go 25 more years times 20 a year. That's what? That puts you at 500 wins.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, that's.
Yeah. I mean, and that's.
You think about it, it doesn't take long to rack up those totals.
No, and not if you
it takes a while, but it goes quick.
Right.
The problem that Matt's up against is he's running in an era where a lot of the tracks are closing. You don't have the options of running so many nights a week.
Well, they're either closing
I
or
just
they're
got
running.
confirmation. 2001, Matt Sheppard was the Fulton Speedway Track Championship.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So thank you, Dave Medler. Dave
and
Medler
also,
listening
and
live.
And Dave.
Yeah, somebody listening. Find out.
Dave's probably pretty quick to pull this one up. I was just trying to cruise Matt Sheppard's website, and he's also won track titles at Weedsport.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we've got all sorts of win counts in there, too.
What about the 358 Mr. Dirt title?
I don't think he's won. I don't think he won the 358.
He may not have, but I could have sworn he did in the 28 car.
The Knicks Cafe car. I don't remember him.
He didn't run a full season in the Knicks
Cafe. He ran that car at Utica Rome and won the track championship at Utica Rome.
And that's what he won Super Dirt Week with.
Right. And I still have the T-shirt from that when I was going. What was that? What
Been
year
there,
was that?
done that, got the T-shirt?
Yeah, I did get the T-shirt. That was the year they had the dirt trailer with all the different guys in it. I bought all the T-shirts. I had them all. It was nice because you could go to the dirt trailer.
He bought the Elite 11?
Yeah. Actually, I think this was before the Elite 11. This is when I think it was when Billy Decker still had Bug Chaser on the car.
Wow! Oh my God,
I love that car.
That's digging deep. That's digging deep right there.
Did you wear those?
I did because I was. That's when
wasn't the NSA era?
NSA. No, you're thinking.
He had the what is it? The financial sponsor, whatever it was. Billy did.
Who's that?
The
USMA
deal.
That was that car was.
What was that? National.
I don't even remember. That car was awesome looking though.
It was white and blue. It was,
NFS.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he also had a car that was like
New England Financial or something like
a blue back
with
a pink, like a purplish pinkish color on the number. You remember that car? No, that car was awesome looking. That car I liked. That car I did like. But
that was right about the same time as Marabito.
And it's funny we're talking about that because once Billy Decker left that ride, the Randy Ross ride, he went to the next car he went to. Matt Sheppard got in that car.
Yes.
Yeah, Sheppard went in that car, and then he went down. Sheppard also has, I believe, a New Egypt Speedway Track Championship too.
Yeah.
How impressive is that?
Yes, he does.
That's impressive. That's when that was with the Ross team because they were shopped out of Albany.
Right.
He said it's about the same amount of time to go west or go south, so we went south.
Right.
So that's. I mean, you gotta rank him in. I would say in Dirt Modified Northeast, Dirt Northeast Racing, I would put him top 10. I would.
Hands down.
Right now.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
See,
not even
I
right now. Right now.
Well, right now
he's the first, second, or third. I mean,
he's in the top 3.
Yeah, no doubt.
But overall, you're talking about
overall. I'm talking about overall.
Overall,
lifetime of
lifetime. I'm still putting him in the top 10 just because of how dominant he's been during his era.
And I'm not going to disagree with that. I'm just saying top 15.
Right.
Yeah, I certainly know where you're coming from, but when you look at longevity of career, I have to let that play out first.
I think also you have to look at is, I think it's been brought up a little bit here, is you can't win the amount of races that you used to be able to win.
Right.
Like when Jack Johnson won 20 races of Fonda in 1 year, or 15 races of Fonda in 1 year, he had the best of the best equipment.
It was 12.
Oh, okay, but whatever I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? You know, when he dominated Fonda for the entire season, he had the best equipment. Nobody else had that stuff.
Mid-90s, Bob McCready won 50 races.
Yeah, but nobody else
had
that. You
don't have that option.
No, and nobody else had that equipment like it is now. Now, everybody's got the same stuff. There is no advantage. If I want to go in and I have my $100,000, I can go in and buy the same motor, same car, same everything that Matt Sheppard, Brett Hearn, or those guys are running. I could have it tomorrow. I just got to be willing to pay for it. It's not like it used to be where guys could get an edge, and once you got that edge, you could kick some serious butt. Now it's everybody has the same stuff, so it's impossible to win.
And there's less, there's less actual races.
Oh, there's a lot. Yeah, there's not as many.
There's not as many tracks. There's not as many races run. So now you're shortening.
It's far more difficult to be dominant in this era than it was 20 years ago.
Agreed.
I mean, I think that would be a fair assessment.
I think that goes back.
You're not liking that.
No, you know what? And
they're starting to encroach.
I don't know.
That's starting to encroach.
There was a lot
of
tough competition.
I know, but I'm not taking anything away from them. I'm just saying.
I mean, if you want to just compare, if you're going to compare them to say Jack Johnson at Fonda Speedway winning all those races in 1985. You still had Dave Lape, Lou Lazare,
right, but I'm not.
Colville,
right,
Mike
but
Romano.
The equipment that they were utilizing was better.
They were all winning cars at that time.
But I'm saying they did not have the same deal today. Whereas then, okay, you had 3 or 4 cars that had the same as Jack Johnson. Today,
I understand.
You've got 10 or 15 guys in the field that have that equipment.
But
I'm not taking anything away from that.
The competition was still there.
I'm not saying there wasn't competition. I'm just saying there wasn't as much competition.
See, you've still got some of that competition.
I'm saying there was.
I don't think so.
The separation between the haves and the have-nots.
Right now, there's no competition at Fonda Speedway, if you ask me.
Because of affordability, and you could still build stuff on your own.
Right, but nowadays,
it
was already turning at that time.
I don't think so.
No way.
No way, dude.
It was
1980 what?
Small. This is 85.
No,
it was still there, but small.
Come on.
You need to put that.
No, because I mean, there wasn't nearly
a lot of that stuff. He was running Hutters. He had Troyers. It was all store-bought stuff.
Right, exactly. And not everybody had store-bought stuff in 1985.
There were still
a lot of those guys did.
Yeah,
not everybody, and they all still don't anyway. But
no, yes, they do.
Well,
there's not one guy that races.
There's nobody out there running.
There's a lot of guys that still do their own.
There's no Joe Schmo building his own chassis and going racing.
No, not so much chassis.
Does still do his own chassis?
No,
a lot of people still do their own engine work.
He got smart.
He likes to fly.
Yeah.
There are people that still do their own engine work.
Yeah, but that's it. Not nearly what it was.
Engine work is still.
But it was at that time. That was already starting to turn.
But it hadn't turned.
It's not as great as it is now.
I can remember going to Fonda Speedway when the new bodies came out in like 92, 93, and watching guys still run Gremlins against them.
Yep.
Yeah, but that's because they didn't want to buy new body panels.
Right.
That's why they gave them a long time to switch over.
But I'm saying
because a lot of people had sheet metal in the shop and they don't want to.
The technology wasn't where it is today.
You're right. With that example, you're talking about an 8-year gap from 85 to 92 or 93, like Mike said. So maybe they had just started.
They were switching over in 90,
but they were nowhere near.
It was like 90 when they started.
Right, but again, you don't have
starts switching over in 90. You're still 5
years out of that.
To the new body style we're talking about.
Oh, okay.
The new body style was
right, and
switched over in 90,
and the new body style was set for the newer
chassis. Right,
and there wasn't a lot of the. In 85, I still remember seeing
there's dirt wheels.
A lot of
dirt wheels. Yeah, right.
A lot of junkyard dog cars. I mean, that's really
guys
what they
building
were.
Their own stuff.
They were building.
My dad worked on a car the whole time I grew up. I mean, when I was a real little kid. I mean, he used to work on Bob Reese's car. Everything that guy did was home built.
Yes, it was.
And that was early
Charleston
80s.
Four Corners.
Yeah, everything he did was home built. He
was the Syracuse Flyer.
Yes, he was. Yep.
Is that a good nickname?
That's a cool nickname.
That's his nickname.
I know. So I don't know. We can disagree on it, but. I just think now it is far more difficult to dominate a season.
I don't disagree totally.
Even Stuart Freeze had an amazing season at Fonda Speedway. And what did he win? 6 or 7?
7, I think.
Something like
that. He started
out
5 in a row, right?
Right. So, I mean.
He started out 5 in a row and finished the season with what, 2?
2 on top of that? Yeah, so something like
that.
So 7. 7, you look at that now and you're like, wow, 7 wins in a season on one track. That's incredible. But that's nothing like what they used to do where they'd run off 12 or 13 or whatever it was.
13,
Only
15?
2 people had ever done 12.
Yeah, here it comes.
Who?
Jack Johnson and Steve Danish.
And what about Steve Payne?
At Fonda?
No,
I mean
Canandaigua.
He's
Black
talking
Rock.
He's
or
talking
Black
about
Rock.
Fonda.
What would you say about Black Rock?
What do you mean?
How many did Payne have Black Rock?
I had that number at one point.
Yeah, all of them.
Yeah.
All of them. That'd be the easiest way to go there. All of them.
No, it's easier to count the ones he didn't win.
Yeah, I know. 3. No.
He was approaching 100 in 2004.
And what year did he?
And I don't think he quit running there. It might even have been 2000.
What was his last? What was the year that he was no longer allowed to compete there?
Yeah, when did he get banned?
Because then it got weird after the sprint cars left. The modifieds came back,
and he dominated that 1 year, and then he got
that
was it after that, right?
It was like the early 2000s when he got banned.
No, mid 2000s,
wasn't
it? Yeah, I thought it was mid 2000s.
It's been a while now.
You know, I hate that we always bring up topics that we don't know the answers to. I know because
there's no way to know. I mean,
there is stuff. There is a way to know, but we honestly.
No, honestly.
Yeah, ask him.
Honestly, yeah, you can. You want me to call up Steve? How many wins you got at Black Rock? You think he knows that?
No.
Most
of them. I bet he could tell you when he was banned.
Yeah, he could tell you the last time he won there.
Do you think anywhere on the internet that figure's going to appear? I'm saying no.
That'd be a challenge to find it. You know who can find it? Doug Zupan. If he's listening.
He's listening.
If Doug Zupan, he can find anything. If it's out there.
That's not true.
So
he won 10 in a row track title wise, and he was averaging 10 wins a year.
Right.
In that stretch.
So he had to have close to 100.
He had to, man.
I mean, that's dominant performance there. You know, there's a few guys that have done that, but
Doug, how many wins does Steve Payne have at Black Rock? Go. No, actually, he's in the live chat. I missed a question.
Oh, Zoopy. Come on, man. We need to know how many wins that Steve Payne had at Black Rock.
And I can't remember.
So get on that, Zupan. If you got nothing better to do.
Which he doesn't.
No, I know. So
50 wins according to his website.
That's it?
I'll tell you right now, that's wrong. I know that number's
I don't think
that
that's
number's not correct.
I thought 100 sounded high. He didn't race there that many years.
He raced there.
Yes, he did.
Because in the 80s, he wasn't there when it was like Johnny Moravec and Walt Mitchell.
He won every title.
No, when it was the 320s with like Johnny Moravec, Walt Mitchell, and those guys, Mal Lane, he wasn't there then.
Oh, 90. That's a little more reasonable.
90. Okay, that sounds better.
Joining us on the line from the National Parts Peddler, Corky Stockham. Corky, welcome to the 31st Lap.
Thanks for having me on.
No problem. I mean, you got a huge trade show, one of the oldest in existence, coming up here in a couple weeks. How's all the planning been going, and what are you guys looking forward to?
Well, it's next weekend, November 16, 17, and 18. And we'll be our first evening. We're raring to go.
That's great. I mean, how's turnout looking? You know, we talked a little bit earlier this week about how things are going. Sounds like you've got another packed show. You've got all sorts of different vendors coming from all over the place. Sounds like it's going to be stacked.
I'm very optimistic, and really for this day and age, you'd be surprised. All the auto racing in the Northeast, I think, is very healthy, all things considered, and a lot of the dealers and manufacturers like to come to Syracuse. It's a good, rich market for selling everything. It's actually the kickoff for next season for a lot of people.
That is one thing that when we had Jessica Power on and the connection was dropping out, and a number of other drivers have also said this, that the key to getting to the parts peddler is get there early, start working your deals there, and even if you don't close it on Friday, you still have the chance Saturday and Sunday to wrap everything up, and drivers really look forward to this as you said, the kickoff to the 2013 season. We've got the auction there. You've got the live performer. You were telling me about the Johnny Cash and live performance. Tell me again a little bit about that so everybody knows what they're looking forward to outside of the racing realm.
Oh, last year I brought in entertainer Terry Lee Goffey. He's one of the best Johnny Cash impersonators in the world, and he has a real professional show. They go all over the place, and they had a nice little twist on Friday night to just a kickoff for the show. It would be from 6 to 8:30. You know, it's just a side show. There's no charge to it. It's really good. If you go on our website, partspedler.us, you can get a taste of it and just turn up your volume. I mean, he looks like Johnny Cash, sings like him. It's great. I think it's just something great to have at the event, and you can see that next Friday night.
In terms of the show, actual day-to-day stuff, there's different highlights, like you talked about Terry Lee's performance on Friday. You guys have the auction on Saturday. What are some of the highlights through the course of the weekend that people can look forward to? This isn't necessarily strictly a fan show. It's not a car show. This is a legitimate business show.
Well, I'll tell you, from the minute you walk in that door at noon on Friday next week, it's up to you what you make of it. I mean, you can walk through and do nothing, or you can stop to every booth and see what kind of deals you can make, learn about products. I mean, you got a lot of factory, dealers and qualified people from those companies to teach you whatever you want. You know, a lot of their technicians are there, whether it's a shock company or a brake company. Some of the owners of companies are there. In a small environment like here, to be able to talk to somebody from Willwood or the Brake Man or Genesis Shocks or Bilstein or something, it's great. You go to some of the other shows, you don't have that opportunity to make a direct connection. And the best part is when you need technical advice or something, you can call up and say, this is Randy Smith, I met you at Syracuse, and you actually can put a voice and a face-to-face and a handshake. People actually know you. It's a great opportunity for you to make something of it. And, Saturday at 2 o'clock, we have a couple hours of auction, the feature car, L car we have, and the Troyer and the TO, and a few other parts, the Bernheisel complete late model. Them are great giveaways. I mean, just wonderful for somebody to buy a car there. They get a terrific deal. And, throughout, there's a lot of things we don't even mention that go on. We have an IMCA meeting on Saturday. We have a go-kart WKA tech seminar. I believe we're having a 305 sprint car meeting on Saturday about, I think it's 12:30. Jeremy Corcoran's going to put that on. Meeting amongst things. A lot of things happen there. A lot. There'll be some seminars, and we'll announce those this week. Sunday, there'll be a couple of seminars, I believe, and that's just a bargain hunter's day. We're open from 10 till 3, and about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, it's a fire drill for people trying to buy what's left in people's booths and on the floor. You can get a terrific deal. I like to see people do that, show up on Sunday. They're looking to buy something, bring your money, and you'll go home with the product.
When you look at what the show started out as and what it has evolved to, and everybody turns a real attention to that in the spring, is it a tough sell trying to get people from Bernheisel and Bilstein and the Brakeman and Willwood and Franklin and all these other big name companies? Is it a tough sell to get them to come to the show, or
I can tell you, if I didn't have great relationships with them for many years, you could never do it today. It's such a busy world, and it's nearly impossible to get these companies to come here unless you have I try to do a lot for them for a reasonable amount of money, and we produce. I mean, Syracuse is a great area. It's all the people here that are in racing and make it really happen. I mean, it's not a line I give these people. They come here, and these racers buy a lot of merchandise, and that's just the beginning. All year long, they buy from these companies, and the companies that come here, it's very smart of them because they're in a small pond. They're a big fish. If you go to a show where there's 1,000 vendors versus 200 or 300, you're lost in the shuffle. But it's a great thing for people to come to and take advantage of it and learn. And that today, as technical as racing is, there's so much to learn, and it's just a great opportunity. Myself, we race cars, and myself, I walk around the show, and every spare moment I'm talking to somebody that I need to talk to and learn something about, and it's just great.
Has there been a situation where you've got a first-time vendor or a big-ticket vendor who hasn't come or hasn't been in a couple of years, who came back and saw the response and saw the turnout and turned around and told you, hey, National Parts Peddler is someplace that we have to make sure we get back to and put on the radar for the following season?
That's pretty much what most people say when they leave, and it's a very tough. You don't know what's going to happen in the next 12 months in people's lives, and we try to get them committed early for the show, and each year it's a little more difficult to get them back. And some of our people have been with us the whole 33 years, so you can imagine they're getting a little older. So that's another thing we deal with. People that's been there forever. They're getting gray-haired, but they love coming there.
Is there anything that's happened at the show in the 33-year history that kind of stands out in your mind as a prevalent memory or something that you couldn't believe took place at the Parts Peddler?
Well, for about 25 straight years, we had the big 3-day Parts Peddler auction of thousands of parts and cars, and memories from that it's hard to believe what we actually did throughout that time. It was just enormous. And the industry was growing such then that all these companies were doing much better, really, and they had a lot of inventory they could sell in the auction and not get much money out of it and still be happy. You'd see people go home with truckloads, leaving Syracuse with truckloads. Them are memories. They'd say, I bought something worth $3,000 for $300, and I get people to call me all the time and tell me, oh, I wish we had the auction back. Well, what's happened with the auction, the merchandise isn't there to sell. Racers today, the way that they've made the parts so good, they last a long time, or they could be so lightweight after a couple of years or a season of racing, there's not much left to it. And we found after many years of doing it, it was very, very hard to make a profit at it and please the person selling, getting enough out of his parts. So it's a sad deal to have the auction wind down to what we do today, as few hours of it, but we have to work at, as the days change, we have to change with it, and people want to buy basically new stuff. So my job is to get vendors to bring new merchandise, the latest stuff, and try to get it priced at the lowest price you can buy it. So, you'll want to buy something in November, and everybody likes sales at the end of the season. November is usually a slow month for manufacturers, dealers, parts houses, and you come to Syracuse, if there's any money you have to spend, this is the place to spend it. You win. I always tell people, if you win some money at your banquets and things you're paid, don't spend it on a washing machine for your wife. Come to the show and buy some wheels and tires or fuel cell.
How about those seminars? I mean, when those started taking off and tell us
pretty good. It's still, you can have some great people like Warren from the Brakeman loves to put on a seminar, and he takes an hour or so, and he'll give you some information that you won't know. And I encourage more people to go to these. When we announce we have one for free, go and sit down for a half hour, see what you can learn. And last year we had French Grimes there, and this guy can really talk. He'll tell you anything, and he knows.
He's a character, that guy.
He's a character. We're just at the moment trying to get him to come back here for a day. I'm not sure we can get him yet. It's a late date. But all these people are very knowledgeable, and these young guys should be absorbing what these people have to offer. God, they know so much that save you a lot of money. You won't make too many, trial and error, making mistakes all the time without, learning the hard way, when you could talk to somebody and say, no, put that shock or spring on or transmission in this way or that, the tips. There's a lot of knowledge in that building walking around, and you can learn almost anything about it, regardless if it's a sprint car or a mini sprint or modified. There's people that can answer the questions, and you pick up a lot of secrets.
Well, is there anybody that you'd like to credit outside of National Parts Peddler in terms of helping put this show on? Is any sponsors or?
Well, I have every vendor there is it. Every person. I got pillars of that show that are, Bicknell is been there forever, and there's just a strong supporter, and Troyer and Barron Speed and T.O. and Jim Bernheisel does a heck of a job helping us, and there's lots of people that in different states and areas that all year long they're out there stumping for us, campaigning, trying to tell companies that they should exhibit at Syracuse, send representatives there. There's all those people. Every exhibitor that comes to that show, they help us in one way or another. And each and every racer that walks in the door helps us. I can work as hard as I want to work at it, but what really makes it happen is the great people that we have and employees I have for many, many years that have been there. I've got the same person at the front door, Rick Martell, selling tickets for 33 years. That's saying something. Got great people. We have great people, and it would be hard for anybody to go to any show in the country and be treated any better than we work hard at treating people nice, and we always have a lot of pretty women to make the guys smile. And,
that's always good.
We work at it. Too. I mean, that we really work at that. And
did you see Claire on the PartsPeddler.us page yet?
No.
Go there.
Okay.
Very pretty lady.
There's always a hot chick in the ad.
Yeah.
Final question before we let you go. I know you got a lot of stuff to work on. We appreciate you taking some time out. Corky Stockham from National Parts Peddler. What is your favorite part about the Parts Peddler show?
When it's over. I work at this every day of the year. I never, you never relax. I go to, after here, we'll go to PRI in Florida, Indianapolis. We exhibit at these shows, and it's a continuation of it. I'm there, right there, hoping that when you walk down an aisle, people go, "I hear Syracuse was good again. You did a good job at it." That's what I want to hear. I want people happy and thinking, the Northeast is still a real great racing market, and I want to be one of the people that make it that way, and we've worked real hard at it. I don't want to disappoint anybody, and I try that. And I don't like excuses. I like to, perform and make it happen. And I think we will this week. We have some decent weather, and things will be good. The Canadians will come down. That's a nice help to have those people come down to our show, and they love coming down to the States and getting bargains and seeing everybody, and I really appreciate those guys. We get people coming from Connecticut, Massachusetts, surrounding states, lots of Pennsylvania people, the people from Dietrich's, their used parts warehouse, they come up and they do a bang-up job, and they're top racers down there. And Danny Dietrich at Lincoln Speedway, I think he's the track champion. You have a lot of people from different states that are very important, and maybe some people don't recognize who they are, but Bobby Seymour from up in, I believe they're in Mass, Rhode Island area, just outside of Boston. They'll have a whole bunch of stuff here. Ponchos Racing, all these different people come in. They're great, just a great bunch of people, and Schoenfels, Bernheisels, and just you couldn't ask for any better crowd of people to come in there. And give anybody credit, everybody gets credit. You can stand here for years, for 33 years, the people. Years ago, we used to feed our own people. They won't let you do that in the state building now. We used to have a chow hall there. It took $5,000 worth of food just to feed our staff through the weekend. You had that many people. You had about 100 people working there.
Wow.
Major headache, but it's fun. These days it's much toned down on that. We take 25 people to be working there. Most of them are volunteers. It's just it's an adventure every year.
Well, we look forward to it. We're going to be doing a live show next Saturday afternoon, and we'll definitely be catching up with you next Thursday, just a few hours before the doors open.
It'll be really good. The doors open Friday at noon till 9 at night, Saturday 10 till 8, and Sunday 10 till 3. And not to mention, throughout the years, we've got some really good press from people, and people like yourselves, just all kinds of different people involved in the industry, from magazines, radio shows, local papers. That really helps, and we appreciate all that.
Well, we try to help, and we always try to give back to the sport that we love, So we look forward to catching up with you next week.
We have to all try to keep it going.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Whether you run a racetrack, whether you're an announcer at a track, whether you
like Mike Mallett,
video show, it takes a lot of key people. And my good friend Joe Murata has been with me for years. I've had makes it fun for a lot of people. And got back in the day, we had Jack Burgess. He was a famous guy, great old character, and just Roy Sova, different people.
Sova.
You can go on and on and on with all the different people. And when we had the big auction, we had some of the most famous auctioneers in the world working for us. And Just great. Just a great time, you know.
That's awesome.
Well,
you guys, and we'll talk to you next Thursday, maybe.
We sure appreciate it.
You got it.
Have a good one.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
And there goes Corky Stockham.
French Grimes. Have you guys ever had a chance to see him?
No, I've heard some things, but
that guy's a character. Yeah,
he's the guy that started the Race Saver 305 division right down in Virginia.
Yeah, actually,
Bassett, Virginia, I believe he's from.
Yeah.
Right?
You never seen his hauler?
I told you.
No.
Wow.
Mike, I told you the story about last week about that whole deal.
Did you?
Yeah, about the Monte Carlo and the column and the SOS and the
okay, all right, yep.
Yeah. Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah,
his hauler was a sight to see.
What was it?
You know, I don't even remember what it was now. It was a contraption. That's all I can tell you.
Tell Zuby to find a picture of it.
He had some health problems like a year or two ago, and I don't think he's racing anymore.
No, well,
he showed up at Hagerstown. Remember I told you I had been to Oktoberfest one time until a week ago. And he was at the Oktoberfest that year.
He didn't go to Oktoberfest. Hey, you didn't go to Oktoberfest last weekend. You went to the Brawl in the fall.
Yeah, whatever the hell they call it. But he was at Oktoberfest at that time. Well, the first time I ever saw him race was at the Chili Bowl. He shows up at the Chili Bowl every year. Up until the last couple of years, he hasn't. But he would show up with this contraption of a race car that he built himself, and it was just a big pile of junk. When he come out of the racetrack, you're like, is this guy serious?
That's awesome.
It was just, I mean, he's a character. And if you ever seen him, I've never talked to the guy, but, you see him in the pit area at the Chili Bowl and stuff, and he's just, he's different.
Different.
I can tell you that.
That's cool. Hey, we're all different in our own way, right?
But he's got to be in his 70s.
Right, yeah.
So he's not a spring chicken.
So what do we want to go to now? There was two issues here that came up this week that we could go to. First, we have the changing of tire deals with the World of Outlaws, which we could go to, and secondly, we could go from there, or we could. Well, I know Chris wants to go talk about IMCA racing, which I'm not going there yet.
No,
let's do the tires first.
I think the IMCA stuff, we're going to table that till next week.
All right, I like that.
Put something together.
I like that.
With those guys anyway. So
the duel in the
IMCA,
desert's going on right now.
Not to mention the fact that we're pushing the limit of what we got time wise.
No, we're not.
Don't get me started. IMCA's got a big deal at the Las Vegas dirt track right now.
Only you would know this.
It's be
night one is tonight. It's called Duel in the Desert. They got
I knew too. I just didn't care to say anything.
They got 250 plus cars.
250 plus Chevelles.
So what?
No, they're IMC mod
Listen,
pods.
Black Rock is going to have 100 plus four bangers front wheel drive next week. Does that mean anybody cares?
It's tomorrow.
2 days.
It's tomorrow. Well, Saturday.
Saturday.
It's Friday already for me. I've already bagged Thursday. It's
and
in the books.
And that will be a fun race. That Enduro.
Yeah, I wish I could
saw
go.
Enduro once. It's a blast.
I'm annoyed that I can't. I'm annoyed that I can't go.
That race is a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I got
it from the driver's seat.
I got the Utica.
I would love to.
Yeah, no, you don't.
Utica Rome banquet tomorrow night or Saturday night. So, and I'm not passing up Turning Stone because the food is freaking amazing.
Yeah,
it's a buffet style. All you can eat steak, chicken, stuffed shells. Rice.
You need a buffet like you need a whole.
You're pushing for a stop at Taco Bell on the way home here.
No. I've been working out all week. I'm good. I could go to Taco Bell because I exercised today.
Yeah, but
doesn't it defeat the purpose when you don't eat healthy when you exercise?
Yeah, but you're still going to be eating meat that's not good enough for dogs. So.
Oh no! It's very good, very good.
So are we going to hit the tire deal?
Yeah. So it was announced this week that. DIRTcar has changed.
DIRTcar has a
World
tire
of Outlaws
again.
Have
within a month and a half they're on their third tire.
Yeah, basically they're no longer with American Racer. They have signed a deal with Hoosier, and the interesting thing is that was led by the tracks. The tracks basically, like we talked about a few weeks ago. Attica, Fremont, Knoxville, Williams Grove, Port Royal, Lincoln.
Right.
All the big 410 tracks went to Hoosier, and then that pretty much applied the pressure to dirt, and that was that.
Yeah,
they didn't have a choice.
And they caved.
So from Goodyear to...
Well, what are they going to do?
What choice do they have?
I mean, what is a sanction? What do you do when all the tracks
I understand that, but that
you.
should have been thought about before they ever made an announcement about American Racer. That's my whole beef.
Well, what happened was, though, all those tracks, well, not all of them, but a lot of those tracks were at the meetings with American Racer and Hoosier. Like Knoxville is always involved in whatever decision goes on in the world of sprint car racing. Always. just because they have so much pull. They have so much pull, and everything that goes on in Knoxville, you're not going to do something different than Knoxville. I don't think. I mean, it doesn't make sense for the
not
for anyone else.
It's the capital. They probably deserve the right.
Speaking of that, I did get my my Rick Ferkel car in the mail today. Zero car. You know what car it is? You know what car it is.
I know. I've seen pictures. I can't picture it in my head right now, but I know I've seen it.
White car, Zero.
He was one of the original
Orange Zero.
Outlaws.
Must have a wing on
Rick
it.
Ferkel.
Oh, it does. It was. I joined the. Whatever.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Go drive your Escort in the Enduro.
Wasn't
Okay,
Rick
I don't want to
Ferkel one of
hear
the
it.
I can't even do that anymore.
I know.
Rick Ferkel was one of the original
I believe so.
Outlaws,
Yeah,
right?
that was this year's. The Sprint Car Hall of Fame does a members only car, and I joined just for the specific reason, so I could buy the car.
So you said car. You were talking about diecast.
Diecast, yeah, a little 120.
So you got a Rick Ferkel diecast.
You got a Rick Ferkel diecast. Yeah, it's awesome.
Well, with you, I never know because you're getting freaking wings in the mail.
Did you
and
get
shit all
your
the time. I don't
Dover
know
brake car
what
back?
Huh?
The
Yeah.
Dover brake car back?
Yeah.
Did you sign it?
Yep.
Right over Bobby Varen's name?
Nope.
What is?
Right near it. Right next to it.
Oh, who's that? Who'd you have sign it?
What'd you do?
Buzzy.
Really?
Yep.
That's cool.
Where'd you see Buzzy?
I didn't see him.
The post office saw it for him.
Yep.
He mailed him a car, had him autograph it, and
Oh, really?
shipped it back. That's awesome.
It helps out when your father-in-law lives like
A couple miles from.
5 minutes away.
He's got a Bobby Varen Dover brake modified that's signed by Dover Dave, Bobby Varen, and Buzzy.
Wow.
Yeah.
What about Wayne?
I have a Bobby Varen hat.
No, I'm sure if I really wanted to, I could probably send it back.
Yeah, Wayne ran that car at Utica a couple times.
I have a Bobby Varen hat.
Yeah, I know you do.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
So that's big news. It may not be big news to the world outside, but
it is. It is actually a big deal to have him wear anything other than Jack Johnson garb to a racetrack. But no, getting back to the tire deal, as we've
bacon shirt.
No, I'm saying hat wise, it's always the Jack Johnson hat
And a Brady Bacon shirt.
Yeah, but we've with it, like, you know what sucks is our hope was that Dirt was going to go American Racer.
Right.
Across the board.
And then American Racer was going to make its way here, and then we were all going to be on American Racers, and life was going to be good. And now that just went right to poop.
Doesn't look good at all now.
No, doesn't look good, and that sucks.
No, but what doesn't suck is it doesn't change anything.
Well, at least sprint car racing won't be fragmented and divided like modified racing.
See now,
right.
Now with this announcement, now I really do wish we videotaped that tire test.
Oh, the tire test? Oh, at Rolling Wheels?
Yeah,
we were at Rolling Wheels, and they did a tire test that night.
The tire test that we were supposed to talk about.
Yeah. Well, we didn't.
Don't matter now, does it?
We didn't talk about it until today.
Until right now. Does it matter anymore?
No.
No, it really doesn't.
They've made a decision.
None
I'm
whatsoever.
pretty sure it had.
That's why I figured I'd say it. I wish I videotaped it now.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
we could have played it tonight.
Yeah.
You talk about how we were kind of hoping to see the American Racers sweep into New York.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for.
The one positive I can think of coming out of not having that happen is, it doesn't really change anything looking at next year.
Well, no, everything.
It leaves everything status quo.
Yeah.
So we're at least at you're on a foundation. You're not on
changing everything,
ground and
right?
trying to figure out, what are we or aren't we going to do. So, from that standpoint, I think that's a positive that that decision's made, it's done, and
I'm just glad sprint car racing isn't screwed up. That's what that really.
Well.
As compared to all other forms of racing, sprint car racing, it's pretty universal. You can go wherever you want, run the tires you want, do what you want.
It is now. They've had their moments.
Yeah, but not anymore. We're not.
They're back on the same page.
Yeah, they're all on the same page, which is a good thing. Which is a very, very good thing. So, I'm happy about that.
Well, next week we plan on having somebody. We haven't really determined yet. I think we're working the angle with Kevin Cook from IMCA to talk a little bit about some of the stuff going on over in the IMCA camp. Corky Stockham is going to be back on. We're looking to go live from the National Parts Peddler show somewhere around 3 o'clock on Saturday. That is tentative, but that's
I'll
what
be there for
to do.
A couple hours, and then Empire Super Strip banquet at Vernon
And I'm
Downs.
booking at home because George St. Pierre is fighting Carlos Condit, and
yeah,
I'm not
UFC
missing that fight.
UFC.
Yeah. I'm not missing that.
And if he wins, who's he draw after that?
Who's he going to draw? Who knows? But who should he draw? Hopefully Anderson Silva.
Yeah, and Dana White basically came out and said if he wins, that's what he's looking at for a ticket. So
I have zero idea what you two are talking about.
I don't.
UFC.
They lost me. I don't.
Listen, if you had said,
what the hell are you talking about?
If you had said John Cena and like The Rock, then I might have had an idea.
Yeah, no, these people actually fight for real.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, but
it's not choreographed.
The guys who do it fake make a hell of a lot more money.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, come on.
I don't know.
Hold on. What are you talking about?
Those purses
UFC.
are going up like crazy.
What's
Ultimate
that?
Fighting. Ultimate Fighting Championship.
Yeah,
seriously?
What is that?
Walk away from your computer and stop watching midgets until 3 a.m.
Hey, what about midget UFC?
That's not
Can we do
gonna
that?
happen.
I only say that because last week we went out and saw a band at Monterey's, and they have midget wrestling coming up.
What is UFC?
You know what the sad part was? It's on a Thursday night. I'm like,
It's Ultimate Fighting Championship.
Yeah, it's cage fighting.
Fighting like boxing?
No,
fighting,
like beat the living snot out of each other for real.
Don't they do that in boxing?
It's
nearly
they
don't wear gloves, man. They like
John. You could take
They don't
your
wear
knee.
gloves?
No, they wear these little padded.
I'm not into fighting. That's not my
I think
thing.
they're 4 or 6
Obviously.
ounce gloves. No, they basically lock 2 guys in an octagon-shaped ring, and they give
Why
them.
has it got to be octagon?
Because that's the shape of the
Oh, God,
ring.
why is a racetrack an oval?
Why don't midgets have wings?
Not all of them are.
Okay,
All right,
We don't know.
Yeah.
let's get back to racing.
Yeah, what are we talking about? Fighting.
Oh, because that's when he wants to go home from the parts peddler.
Yeah,
Again,
I'm not going to the ESS banquet.
Set
I'm
your
going
DVR.
someplace
I'm
else.
going to the
I don't
ESS
have
banquet.
a DVR.
Can't
Well, you
wait.
better find one.
Why do you turn into a crotchety old man when you talk
He
about something
is
that
a
you don't know
crotchety
anything
old
about?
man.
Thank you, Mike, because he is a crotchety old fart.
Yeah.
Listen.
Well, there you go.
There it
is.
There we go. And that.
That
Probably
It's
sums
a
it up.
suitable end right there.
An end. We're not done.
Come on.
It's early. It's
What
only
time is it?
8:30. Well, I've been on the air for an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
That's like 45 minutes short.
What do you
of our
want to
goal.
talk about?
There's a lot of things to talk about.
Well, what?
We could talk about.
There's Jim right there.
Hey, Jim, what's
We
up?
could talk about Jim. He's here
Where,
now.
did you bring our coffee?
Yeah.
Some of us stopped and got our own.
Oh, next time, he said.
Yeah, next time.
Yeah, there is no next time.
I guess that's the cue.
So, no, I mean we've talked about a few different things. I mean we touched on NASCAR a little bit. I mean I think we should at least go into it with Jimmy Johnson and Brad Keselowski. Obviously, we all want to see somebody different win because that's how we are.
No, I want to see
Yeah.
Keselowski.
Unless you're a Jimmy Johnson fan,
You want to see
everybody else
Brad
wants
Keselowski win.
Yes.
Yeah, there's so many variables there.
I'm
and
not
so
a
many-
Brad Keselowski fan.
I like.
Not a fan of him at all. Really.
I'm a Tony
You
Stark.
have to be. He drives your car,
I have
and he's
found
got.
myself rooting for him. Number one, being a Rusty Wallace fan.
He
I'm
drives
a
your car.
Huge fan of Roger Penske. That guy deserves to win a Cup title. So
Okay,
I'm
number
pulling-
two-
number
number
one
two-
reason why I'm pulling for him.
Number two,
Number
you bought
two,
enough beer in
Dodge.
your life.
Dodge
That's a Miller
deserves-
Lite that you are part owner of that car.
Dodge deserves to win a title before they leave NASCAR.
Okay.
At the end of the season.
Can you get the number
and
three?
number 3, yes, Miller Lite. God, everybody that
He's
knows
bought
me
enough cases
and
that
knows
he
me
buys
well,
those tires every week
that
on that car.
I live on Miller Lite, so I'm rooting for the number 2.
He doesn't eat; he just drinks beer.
I'm still waiting for the Bahamas last name to replace Miller Lite on the back quarter.
Yeah,
Thomas Light.
yeah,
There is no other beer. I'm sorry.
yeah. Oh,
I don't know. Oh, great. Here we go. Utica Club.
Zupan. You
brother.
don't even have to tell me who it was. Doug Zupan.
Yeah,
Zupan,
whatever.
what's the last car Utica Club sponsored?
FX Matt's not there anymore.
Yeah. I'm sure Zupi will know if they ever did actually sponsor a race car.
He's digging through.
What races do we have left in the chase? There's only what? There's 2 races
2
left,
races,
right?
Phoenix and then Homestead.
Oh, so 2
Homestead.
tracks that I don't care about.
It's who
We gotta
cares?
go back to-
Whoa, was
So
Phoenix
what?
the one last year? They're driving through the infield there
Yeah,
on
I
the
think
back
so.
stretch. They paved
Yeah.
it and they were cutting down.
Yeah,
on
they were way
okay.
down at the bottom.
Yes.
Oh, that's gonna
Because they put banking in it now.
right.
Yeah.
right.
It's
And
not,
and
flat like it
and
used to be.
and
I wish
it's-
they left it alone.
Yeah, and
They're going to Jimmy Johnson's playground.
Yeah, and it still sucks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's-
Brad, mind you, he's only been in the Cup Series a couple of years, so he doesn't have a huge resume at Phoenix. But they keep this week. All they've been talking about how his average finish is not very good.
Yeah,
Phoenix is not one of his better tracks.
Right.
Again, it's
And where
so what, who
Jimmy
cares?
has had pretty good success there, Brad's average finish is 19.
Yeah, that's not very good. That's
But
not very
hey,
good.
the way he's been running this year, anything is possible.
Yeah, I mean it can shake down.
Just
and,
because he hasn't run there in the past very well doesn't mean he can't this weekend.
right,
They've
right.
been on their game this season,
Yeah, I
especially the second half.
mean, Jimmy Johnson. It always seems like he's never a factor.
No, they come around when it counts.
And
They're
then
smart.
last 10 races, oh crap! Here comes Jimmy.
He's won
like,
more chase races in the history of the chase. Than
Right.
anybody.
Well, that's why the chase is stupid.
Well, yeah, I've
No,
never been a big
you're
proponent of it
stupid.
either.
It's
Yeah, I
not
am.
stupid.
Well, listen, I'm stupid. I'm fine with it, but so is the chase.
Your season is supposed to be built on consistency.
Yeah, and
not
it's
the
not.
final 10 races.
It's not. It's based
you
on
can
10 races.
Squeak your way in. Just get in a
Tony
skin in
Stewart
your
is
teeth
a prime
and
example
12th,
last-
and then go
last
out and
year.
win half the races, and you're the champ. Well,
Yeah, that's exactly right.
if
I mean,
it played out, you wouldn't have been no.
how much of a letdown? You know, we talk about Tony Stewart and the incredible run he had last year. How much of a letdown has Carl Edwards been this year?
Ugh.
He's doing what he did the last time he almost won a championship. He didn't win a race for 2 years.
Sucked it.
When he just lost the title to Jimmy Johnson 3 or 4 years ago.
Right,
he went terrible. 2 years without winning a race.
Right.
And now he's doing it again. It seems like
happened?
He has a hangover after losing a championship every year.
Yeah,
we've seen it with Denny Hamlin in the past too.
Yeah. What happens?
He lost the title and didn't win for a while.
It's like Bombas every morning after Dirt Week.
No, I didn't have no hangover. I didn't have a hangover all week. I didn't get drunk until Sunday night.
He behaved. He was well behaved and adultish.
Yeah. I wasn't real
how about you, Chris?
I wasn't real happy with that.
How was your Sunday night, Chris?
I have no idea.
Yeah, if you're going to talk hangovers, you got to talk to this one right over here. He doesn't.
It wasn't a hangover.
He doesn't rember squat from
that
that night.
It was a blackout.
From what I hear, it was a great time.
Yeah, have you seen that new show Revolution where all the power went out and it's a blackout? That was you.
I'm familiar with a blackout. What do you want to turn this into chewed gum? All you want to do is talk about getting bugged?
Man.
Chewed gum.
Yeah, it was.
What'd you do? Put it under your desk, save it for later.
Oh, that's just gross, man. You know,
all right.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we're done with that. We're changing that. Leave that one alone. I'm trying to think any other news. You know, the big news too. Big Diamond Raceway has been sold.
Sold to
their stepson,
Smully.
Stepson of the former owners. Was it Fritz Roaring? Is that
Roaring?
Yeah,
Roaring.
yeah. So that'll be interesting
Fritz
to see. They're going to pay.
Roaring.
Yeah, they're going to pay $27.50 to win now weekly.
That's the same as it was, I believe.
Is it the same as it was?
I think everything's status quo.
And the same for the Sportsman, $600 to win. Going to have a street stock series, some different things coming up. You know, be interesting to see. You know what that does for Big Diamond. I know you love Big Diamond. That's like,
I do. I've always enjoyed going there. I did not get there at all this year, but whenever I've gone there, I've always enjoyed going.
Yeah, I'm not a Big Diamond fan.
I like the place. Always have. I don't know.
You like PA small block racing,
but
in
again,
general.
you got to remember that
and
I get there.
New Egypt small block racing now too, right?
Yeah,
normally I would get there maybe once or twice a year. So you're not looking at a person who goes there every single Friday. So I don't have a lot to complain about.
Right,
it's
you go there once in a while.
Sample.
See, the last time.
If you go there weekly, you see all the issues.
The last big show I went to there, it just pissed me off. I went to a show and it was the USAC show. Yeah. It was with the midgets and the 410s. It was ARDC, and the 410 USAC sprint cars, wingless. And that's right. I went to a wingless show
a few times for that,
and they just screwed it up.
Which one were you there for?
Cool Wet one, I think it was.
Yeah,
and it was like. I didn't leave there until midnight, and I had to work the next day, and it was a 3-hour ride home.
That was why you're mad. You had to work
I was pissed. I'm like, but no, because they screwed around, and they screwed around, and they screwed around, and it's like, come on, dude.
I believe me, I'm not making excuses for them, and I certainly understand where you're coming from. I think with that USAC swing, time isn't always of the essence,
right?
Because most of those people are kind of like
they're there all week.
They're vacationing for a week. Because whenever I've gone to that USAC swing, I'm on vacation all week. You go to the whole thing. So who cares when you get back to your hotel room per se?
Right.
But there are, of course, people who are working that week, like yourself,
like normal,
where you do have to work the next day, and you got a long drive home.
Right, and that sucked. But other than that, I don't think there was a lot of big news coming out this week. I mean, we know we got our champions, we got everything else, and hopefully everybody should have fun on Saturday at Black Rock. I know, unfortunately, I won't be there just because of the banquet.
Yeah,
I'm
be there. Still debating about Saturday. I want to go, but I got to work Saturday night, so I don't know what I'm doing.
And I talked Path Valley. We talked Path Valley Sunday, but that's a long ride.
That would be a nice deal to go to Path Valley because I've never been there.
Me either, but
I have not been to a micro race yet this year. I think it's going to be a good show.
And it's 6 hours away or 5.5.
Scrub and Strunk are supposed to be there.
Running speedsters, right? Yeah, so
and I think the micro contingent will be probably
non-wing too. So you'll be excited.
It's all non-wing on Sunday, and the micro contingent would probably be pretty good because there's really nothing else
so
going on for them. So they'll probably have a decent turnout.
Yeah, won't be bad.
But what do you got, Chris?
It would be a long ride.
I know. I'm trying to. That's going to do it. We're
and that is the end of our time this evening.
We're
at 8:38.
We're heading out. We will catch back up with you next week. We'll see you next week on that edition of the 31st Lap.
www.fingerlakes1.com.